So, Psalm 44. So this is not by David, it's by the sons of Korah. I don't know who that is, but it seems like they are, so, like, they the first thing that interested me is like this, what their ancestors said to them, that that the work that God did, I think in their days, that means the early Israelite, so that he God gave the land. He drove out the nations, like other nations, and gave them the land that he allotted to them. And like, God did not give them all the land. There are boundaries that he already established early on that was like promised to the Israelites' ancestor, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that he allowed the nations that settled there, he allowed the Israelites to defeat them and drive them out. And then, but then they, by their own sword they did not possess their land, by their own arm they did not save them, but your right hand, your arm, and the light of your presence, you favored them. So God favored the Israelites, and he was the one who went in front of them in battles and helped them to take the promised land as he allowed. And so the psalmist then continued to say that you are my King God, and then command the victories for Jacob. Through you we will push back our adversaries. And right now they're in a time where like they have adversaries, and that they will not trust in their bow or sword, but in God we boast. So this is a lesson to be learned today too. We don't depend on our military power. Our military power is nothing if God isn't for us. And so these people who wrote this psalm knows that, and that they will give thanks to God's name forever. However, this part is when it starts to turn weird for me. Verse 9, like, it's they said that God have rejected them even though they didn't really do anything. That is not true. From the accounts of history, Chronicles, and Kings, the Israelites, when God gave them into hands of foreign nations and let them become slaves and to be oppressed, when he doesn't have his protection over them anymore, that was when they actually follow the customs of other countries, wicked practices like sacrificing their children. When they forsake God, then God say, fine, do it your way, and let's see how it turns out, and let you learn a lesson from your own experience if you're not going to listen to what I say. So, but then the Psalm verse 9 on, it says right here that you sell your people cheaply, make us a proverb, make us a ridicule, make us a laughing stock, and then they are dishonored and humiliated, and people like taunt them. But they wrote 17 that all this has come upon us, but we have not forgotten you. So obviously there's a disconnect between what God sees and what they see. Maybe this person in this generation still loves God, but I'm pretty sure God does not forsake one who a generation of people. Like, God does not bring judgment until it's time, and I think this person is living through judgment, but what he says right here should not be true for the Israelite, for all of the Israelite. It says right here, like, they said that they have not dealt falsely with your covenant. Our hearts have not turned back, yet you have crushed us and covered us with deep darkness. If we had forgotten the name of our God or extended our hands to a strange God would not find us out. He knows the secret of the heart. So they're saying true things like God knows the secret of the heart, but then they're actually saying that God, you're doing this to us like for no reason. We didn't forget you. We didn't turn to other idols. But from the Bible and from the Word of God, I know that from God's perspective, only when the nation turns to idolatry, only when they forsake other God, only when time of judgment needs to come, then he do it. So this is not in accordance with God, what God sees. And so, but then what they do ask that is true is, please do not reject us forever, and rise up, be our help, and redeem us because of your mercy. So they ask for God's mercy, and that is true. But saying, God, we did not do anything to deserve this, I think that's out of line.